Let's begin by clicking on Works Cited. At the top, you will see Cite A, and you select the citation type. Here, we'll choose Book, and then we'll hit Create Citation. Now there are two ways to cite a book using Noodle Tools. This first screen is going to help students identify whether or not they're actually using a book. And most students know if they're using a book. However, it can be confusing if they're using ebooks. That would still count as a book. And it'll walk a student through the steps of how to cite an ebook. So let's hit continue here. If the student is unsure of how to use whether or not it's a book, what they can do is they can go through the show me steps, and it'll walk the students through whether or not they're using a book. So we'll click continue. And here we can see we have the option of a print book, a book that's up on a website. So something through Project Gutenberg would be a good example. A book that comes through a database like Gale. An ebook file, and that's the Kindle file or an EPUB file that a student would have on their iPad, and then microform, which we really don't need to worry about anymore. So the first and easiest way to cite a book is to import the ISBN number. And the ISBN number can either be found through the catalog, and I'll show you here on Chandler's catalog. For this particular book, Under Siege, 3 Children at the Civil War Battle for Vicksburg, you can see we have two ISBN numbers. There's a 10-digit number and a 13-digit number. You can choose either one. I typically choose the 10-digit number, and then I'll copy that and I'll put it into Noodle Tools. Now sometimes our books don't have their ISBN numbers in the catalog. In that case, the student could go to Amazon, and on Amazon, if you scroll down under product details, oftentimes they list the 10-digit and 13-digit ISBN numbers so that students can just copy that number and plug it into Noodle Tools. So when we do this, we hit search. It searches for the book, and in this case it just returns one result. At times it can turn multiple results if there are more than one publishings of the book. So always double check to make sure that the year and the publisher are the correct year and publisher listed in the book that you have in front of you. In this case, this is right, so what we're going to do is we're going to select it, and then we'll hit Import Selected Source. Now notice that at the top it says details imported from WorldCat are displayed here. They've auto-corrected some of the data for the citation style we're using, but they ask us to review it carefully. So we want to look and we want to see, yes, this is correctly done. The capitalization is correct, the publisher is correct, the city, and the year. And then down here we have our author listed. So if everything's correct, we can hit continue, and then just simply hit the submit button, and that'll give us our first citation. So here we are with our first book citation. Now the other way to create a citation under book is to manually fill in the fields. And so we can go to create a citation for book. We'll skip through this screen again. Students can always check the little checkbox at the bottom in order to eliminate that screen. And here we can basically type in the information we have found on our search through the middle school catalog. So the first thing we would do is we would choose author, then we would type first and last name. We would type in this field the title of the book. Most of our books are not multi-volume books. However, sometimes students will pull a book from a Time Life series, and so they need to put the title of the book in here along with the title of the volume set. And all throughout Noodle Tools, students are prompted as to what information is necessary in each place. In this field, we would fill in the publisher, followed by the publication city. We would fill in the year, An addition, a series name, or a series number typically aren't necessary, so we'd leave those fields blank. And then if the student wanted to list an annotation, essentially saying what the book was about, that could go here in this field. And then the student would simply hit submit and it would create a citation. In this case, I'm just going to hit cancel, and we're back at our original citation.